Hey everyone, it's Solarpiece here today to show you a unique anime-based card game called Zenonzard. Something that makes it really unique is that you actually have like a codeman or a buddy, which is this is the one that I picked. I'll show you more of them later. But what it does, it's an AI, so it's like a machine learning thing, where as you play, it learns from your playstyle and how you play. And then that codeman will go and face other people in battle. So whenever you play against someone, you're not playing against a real person, you're playing against their codeman, which is learned from their playstyle. So you don't have to worry about taking too much time or too little time. You can take breaks in between, and you don't have to worry about people just like roping you and BMing you. So it's really nice that you can do that. Something I've really appreciated while playing this game. And of course too, the art is amazing. Honestly, my capture card doesn't really do it justice. You can kind of see on my webcam just how crisp it looks. I mean, you can't really see that well because my webcam isn't that great. Oh, there we go. That's how good it looks. It looks so good. There are over 500 different cards, and you can see that there's also 7 different colors as well. There are 3 different phases in Zenonzard, which is the mana movement phase, and this is where you can move creatures to and from the mana pool, which is really unique, and it's something I've liked a lot because it takes a different style ramp. There's also the flash phase, which is where you play your instant cards, your spells essentially. This game also has a unique take on the main phase because it's an attacker chooses, but blocker chooses at the same time, which I find really interesting and something I've enjoyed a lot in the game. While you play too, the AI, so this lady for me, she gives me different advice and I can decide to take that advice or to make my own plan. But you'll see that a bit more as we get into the game. So this is a codeman that I ended up picking because I liked her. She's blue. She is really, I like the nursing and like medical field quite a bit, so this fit me pretty well. You see she's a medical care program. You can see their height and just a little bit about them so you can match your personality if you want to. I also liked her voice quite a bit, which you can just tap and you can listen to their voice, so I think it's a good idea to find someone's voice that you like as well. I just like how calm and relaxing it is because that's when I play card games. I do like to, especially on my phone, I like to relax, and it's nice that I can let the AI take the wheel if I want to, if I don't have to think about it too much. But I've also enjoyed a lot of the people. I think she looks really cool, the coder. This guy looks like a Joker. This is another one that I almost chose just because she just looks really just nice, and she's a detective. What's she sound like? So, pretty classic anime sound. I think pretty much all of them obviously are gonna have the classic anime sound to them. I like this one a lot too. I just think he looks really cool. This one also. I think this guy looks awesome. It's got a good voice too. But I like this one the most, that's why I picked her. She's my favorite. And yeah, as you see too, there's a lot of choices here. It was pretty hard to make a choice. I had 16 different people to choose from, so 16 codemen, and hopefully one of them would work for you. It's also important to note through the link in the description as well as my pinned comment that there are campaigns running through July that should help you get 240 out of the 500 cards, which is a great start, so please consider looking at the link in the description to download Zenonzard. It's been a lot of fun playing it, and I'm really excited to show you a game of it now. But before we do that, I do need to show you about the deck building. You see too, everything's really smooth in this. It's something I've appreciated a lot. So you can go to decks, and something that's interesting in this is that it's not just a person. Instead, they also have these things, they're called forces that are on the side. So if I say create deck, I can do a deck code from someone, or I can create my own. But what I personally like to do, because I'm a bit lazy, is you can also just have the AI build your deck for you, or you can like put in some of your favorite cards, for instance. So personally for me, there's a card that I really like, and it's called the Armadillo. I just think it's so adorable. Look at it! It's shiny too. I got a shiny version of it. So this is a wildland. But oh man, look at the eye is so cute with the little flower. So I will be putting that into my deck because I like this card a lot. It's probably my favorite card in the game. I also like the big, there's like this big squid dude. He's a blue card. But I will go ahead and go to the AI to build my deck because like I said, I'm lazy. And you can also choose the forces too if you like wanted to choose 2 forces, which I can show as well. But in this case, she's going to choose the forces because, like I said, I'm pretty lazy, and I'm like, oh man, I like the armadillo. So I can see what she built here. My forces are here, and, well, the Cyclops. So all your minions gain plus 100 BP duration of your turn. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the future because you probably don't know what that means right now, but we will get to it in the battle. It's pretty easy to understand after that. So that's the deck that she built for me. I'm gonna go ahead and say try it out now. And she picked the forces as well, which are up here. And I think I could probably change them if I wanted to, if I was like, oh, I actually want to do that. Oh, there's the octopus! Oh, this was the guy I was talking about, the art that I liked earlier. And I just like octopus a lot, because they're just really cool creatures. I've always liked them. So I have, like, my 2 favorite cards in this deck. Also, too, I got the Healing Sheep, which is another card that I like quite a bit. It's just so cute! It's got the birds around it, it's so happy! Alright, so I can also name my duck too if I want. So save it, and then it'll ask me for a name, and I'm just gonna call it Animals because obviously it has all my favorite animals in it. Well, they're not necessarily like my favorite animals, but they're my favorite animal cards is the better way to explain it. So I can practice with the AI or I can just battle. So we're gonna go ahead and just battle. So gonna go ahead and queue in for a ranked match, and keep in mind that I'll be playing against my opponent's AI. It's like the same thing where I've had this coding buddy where they've learned from me about how I play, and the same thing's happening on the other end, except the person's no longer there with their coding buddy. You do have the option to play against your friends though if you didn't want to play against their AI buddy. But in this case, it's really nice for ranked because then it's just like, oh, I don't have to worry about them taking forever, roping me. If I need to take a break, I can. It's really whatever works for me. Actually, I haven't been to this place yet. I've been to quite a few, but this castle looks awesome. I was gonna say the lava place is my favorite, but this might be my new favorite place. So she's going to guide me through this game. She'll give me different ideas of like what I should and shouldn't do. Mostly what I should do. So she's telling me that I should mulligan and keep the 7 costs. It seems a bit weird to keep the 7 costs. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and mulligan everything here. And I got a mana base, so that's really nice. Which is this white card here. But you can use mana for other things too, it's not just like only these cards. So we'll go ahead and play this. And we also draw a card. And then we can go ahead and move it out. So because of that, we can now attack our opponent's force, which is like a special ability. It's kind of like a support that they have. However, you can't attack the opponent's face because I just summoned this and it has like a half summoner sickness. So if it had a full summoner sickness, you know, it couldn't attack at all. But the way that they balance for this is that they make it where you can only attack forces when you first summon something. So now she's suggesting that I end my turn. So anything that has like the blue circles in it means that that's her suggestion. I don't have to follow those if I don't want to, but generally I found them to be pretty good overall. Every once in a while it's like, maybe I won't do that. So here, my opponent has 1 attack, which is that little diamond on the top that has the 1 on it. But the way that the minion combat is decided is a little bit different, where theirs has 400 and mine has 300. So that means if I were to block, mine would just die right away. So that's why she's saying I should pass. I can stop the attack, but then I lose my minion, which isn't really worth doing it here. So now we're in the mana phase. And she's saying that I should make this part of my mana base. And so now I have 2 mana. And I can play my armadillo, which I love this card. I also have a premium of it too. So I summoned it, and I'm gonna go ahead and attack their force, which is good for me. So if we get rid of the forces, then we can attack their face right away when we summon things. As well as forces give you like a little bonuses essentially. As I said, they're kind of like supports, where we both actually are running one of the same ones, and after they finish their turn, I'll explain that a little bit more as well. Dang. So this force, for example, is the Force of Sin Cyclops. All of your minions have plus 100 BP for the duration of your turn. So that's why mine has 200 instead of 100 right now. But she is suggesting that I bring this to the base, so I'll go ahead and agree to that. And now that I have 4 mana, I can play this guy instead. It's important to note that when you have the mana movement phase, which is moving the creatures, you can only do that one time. So you can't just be like, I'm gonna move all these creatures out of this, and then that'd be just insane then. So this guy also destroys, so it's 400 or less BP is what his summon effect is. So we were able just to destroy their thing, and he's essentially a blocker. You can see he doesn't have any attack, but he does just kill things, which is really nice. So they destroy one of my forces, and my force reads that I get to draw that card essentially. Oh, maybe we'll be playing Squid. May I suggest moving this mana to the field? Sure. And because it's already attacked before, I can attack the life. Which is nice. Yes, I do get to play this Squid. I was thinking we would, but I wanted to see what she said before I tried doing it. I love the Squid. Well, it's an octopus, but I call it the Squid. Because, I mean, look at it. Oh, it's so good. She wants me to pass. So these must have an effect that when they die that she doesn't want to trigger. When destroyed, search your deck for one base minion card, place it into your base and shuffle your deck, then draw one card. And then when this one's destroyed, same thing. I don't know. Fine, I won't do it. I want to, but she probably has a reason that, like, maybe drawing the base minion's really bad because they have a lot of mana compared to me. So they're in the flash phase right now, which is like the instants or the burst spells. So they did some damage to me. Oh man. Feels bad. So their burst was doing a bunch to me. They just returned it though to the mana, so I gotta bring it back out. It's not that big of a deal. So summon this. Yes, I like the sheep. Sheep is cute. It heals 1. Then we're gonna summon this too. Draw 1 card. Pretty good too. Oh yes. Attacking the force. With this? Oh, this guy is in like the darker color, so that means that he's not going to be able to block right now. So I can attack with whatever I want. That's nice. And they're not blocking with that. And then we're gonna attack this one's life. This might get blocked, but we'll see what their AI does. Oh, flash phase, so they have instant. Move one of your opponent. I'll have to read it. So now that 700 BP guy is up and going again. Sorry. Oh, cat. Ghostly surprise. And they have been attacking me with that card a lot. So we're destroying this. Alright. Dang. It was a really close game. Wasn't able to get them though. So after the game's over, it shows you just like the report at the end, and it'll also show you your experience, your level, and as well as like if things went wrong or like where they went wrong. So you can see that obviously I'm a new player, so I'm not going to be playing like super great, where I can see where I went wrong. Generally, I've noticed that even when you're winning, it still kind of shows that you're losing a bit. So it shows me that kind of like in this area, I was making pretty good moves. Like I was making pretty good decisions here, and then it just kind of like bleh. But I started off like not doing so great, like put myself in a bad spot, and then started doing really good. And then I must have made some mistake in either something with my blocks or my attack or something that just wasn't working out well enough. So that is how you see the end of it, which is pretty cool. At the end, I can also choose to rematch if I wanted to. If I was like, oh, I think I can beat that deck, I think I can beat that player, you can just do it again, which is pretty sweet. I've had quite a bit of fun with this game, so if you're interested, please download from the link in the description and as well as the pinned comment. And during the month of July, there will be a campaign where you have a chance to get 240 out of the 500 cards right now. It's free to play, it's pretty friendly, where I've been able to log in. There's daily logins, and then there's also other ways to acquire cards through missions, and I've enjoyed it quite a bit, so if you are interested, go ahead and take a look at Zenonzard.